Welcome
Welcome to all the participants here
in the
in the
next
next
for
day
from
from the day we
started together.
started.
This is
This
the
is the
fourth
fourth
day that
day
we
that
are
we are
meeting,
meeting,
and we are
and we are
moving
moving
on
on
with
with
each
each
day
day
becoming a
becoming
yet new learning and a
and
yet
a yet new
evolvement.
evolvement.
Today,
Today,
Makkskills
Makkskills,
has a
a
very
very
important
important
aspect
aspect
to unfold for you all the
to all the educators.
We are going to be
We are
talking
going to be
about an
talking about
online
an
platform
online platform
which
which
is
is
to be a very easy,
easy,
ready,
friendly,
and
and
absolutely
absolutely
free
free
to
to
operate
operate for
creating an
creating an
online
online test,
assessment
assessment
and
and
grading
grading
on
on
a
a
complete
complete
automatic
automat
format
format
with
with
least
least
work put in by the educator.
educator.
So we are going to quickly look into this, and
And
the
the
name
name
of the tool that
that
we
we
are
are
going
going
to look into
to
is
is
Testmoz.
Testmoz.
Okay, it is echoing. Okay.
Well, quickly, let's start with that now. As hands-on training, I request each one of you who has a device by themselves to kindly get started with open your tablet, open your laptop. You can also work on a mobile device as well, but the full functionality available to create an exam very easily on laptops and tabs. But yes, with a little more practice and ease of functionality, do on a mobile as well. So it's a very friendly tool. And I repeat, few of the important features that are going to be about one, it is free of cost, as we have promised in the whole journey of this 1 week learning. We are going to bring to you the tools which are not going to cost you a bank put into, not a bank crash, but easy to operate and free of cost on the most highest functionality in the basic format as well. Of course, there's always a premium value attached to add-on features of every given tool. So that is the way to operate. But having said that, in the basic format, beautifully organized that work that is expected to be delivered for an educator. All right. So it is free of cost. Secondly, educators, that's you who are going to create the exam on an online platform of Testmoz, and for the students who are going to take the exam. The best part of it is one, the tab, laptop, as well as mobile. But apart from this is a very functional tool on a low bandwidth. So that I think is very, very interesting feature, considering the fact nowadays when nearly the whole world almost most of the time is online. So that we experience a lot of less bandwidth and drops. Here is the beautiful aspect that even on these challenging times when the network may fluctuate and bandwidth may not be best, yet you can operate on this. So there's no reason to say ma'am or sir, well, there was no network in my area, right? So with a low network, even if by mistake the student happens to where he's attempting the test, when he reopens it and reattempts it, it will be all be saved and not have would have lost. So you have a sure each and every student will be able to attempt the test very, very well. And that's a very, very great, beautiful, interesting feature of test mode. These are the basic things. What now I'm going to show you a small PPT on which we are just going to run basic features and then we will start our hands-on. So to give you a fair idea, as we were just talking about, it is one of the best platforms that ever has been made. Of course, when I say that, there are many other platforms, others all know that, but this is one of the very friendly ones. So easy to work, easy to create the test, and it provides almost all the possible educator may need to create the test. Looking ahead, what are the various features? One, it looks really professional. It is out of home appearance. So that's another one. Good thought about it. Very professional touch that gives a little authenticity to the work that though you are doing online, the work which is done with a great fervor and a clarity of thought and a professional appearance. Secondly, as we said, not only you get to clear the exam online through test mode, but also it helps you create reports. That means the assessments, which you will have a system to create, auto calculations, and creating a report card as well. Isn't that fantastic? It's like, I call it like magic. So the Testmoz tool does it completely on its own, just on click of couple of buttons here and there, and it's all ready. So that's can help to all the educators currently in the COVID-19 time. But even apart from that, I think it's then writing all the manuscripts and mark sheets, which all teachers and professors are end up doing. Here is something which prepares, and also not only prepares the reports. Furthermore to that, it gives an of the student, of the overall class performance, which is a great way to look for an educator how to create more students to move ahead. Where are they lacking in, and what more strengths we can give it to them to strengthen their performance. So this is very interesting as well. Another one important feature it is there are no registration, fees, no long drawn path and complex paths of creating, or even so much so even login. So you can actually straight away hit creating the test, and the student can straight away answering the test, by a very simple method, even without the login possibility. Like we have told the other day when we did other aspects, the email account or another email ID, whichever you may have, the password and so on and so forth. There's nothing of that complex system. It's just straight away the teacher gives you a particular code, and the student straight away puts it in the browser, and he is ready to attempt the test. Simple, straightforward method. Again, full on a fantastic feature. And apart from this, we all know on an online system, then there are a lot of ads, paid ads, or always taking away the attention and deviates our thought process. So this tool doesn't allow that. So there's a closed circuit itself, which no ads will take your attention and your thought process away, either of you or of the student. And finally, the most important, apart from all the amazing, it is password protected. Specifically today, nowadays, in these times when we all know cyber issues are on more than what it was ever. With COVID-19, the cyber concern, security has been greatly compromised because everybody is online. So all these strongly attacked by cyber hackers, and there's bombing by the cyber world. So here is a process which to a great extent is safe, secure, and the possibilities of hackers really easily entering is quite remote, right? The firewall which they built is password protected. So let's get on to this. These are the five. There are many more features to it. While I talk only I'm only highlighting the best. And while we tell you in 1 hour what are the operational modus operandi of any given tool, but as Ruchi also mentioned, the idea is much more always to learn, explore as you put your hands into it and get your hands dirty, learning more and more and discovering for yourself. Moving on. We are getting started, and this is the interface, how it looks like when you will reach the site. Right now in the next 1 minute we are going to hit the site. So get your hands ready, and we're on to it. And here, let's get started. On your browser, Chrome browser, I would suggest is the best one to great way to move around with it. Please type test.com, and that's exactly what I'm also going to do. I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to write Testmoz, TEST, right away with you. Okay, so let's do it. In the browser, please write TESTMOZ, and the moment you write, see it's coming up for you. It's coming up you the first top tool. Just a second, I'm sharing my screen. Give me a moment here. Right here, in with me. I'm going to take you in the test mode, and we are entering our screen. Just a second. We are going to quickly write Testmoz. Just give me a second. And we are coming to that. I'm stopping a share for a moment and coming back to it again. Start the share and I'm going to take you right here. Okay, there we go. So in your going to write testmoz.com. You're right here with us on testmoz.com. Can you see that? If you can, I think some people have mentioned they can't see it. Let me try it once again with you and share the screen once again. I'm sharing the screen. I'm hitting it right now here. And I hope it has come on your screen. I'm writing testmoz.com. Can you see that over here, all of you? If you can, just please put in the chat that you can. Maybe some of your network could be compromised, but give me a moment. Show up for each one of you. And I'm going to get my spotlight also functioning. Yeah, here. So here, Testmoz for you. And when I hit it, enter, it's opening up to this beautiful interface, the Testmoz. So I hope you all are there with me on Testmoz. This is a home page, home screen, and interface is going to continue from here in a pretty comfortable manner. So let's see. I'd like to share about that a few basic things before we start moving on to create our test. Mentioned has a free version which is extremely friendly, easy to operate, and has most of the functionality which you may require to create a. When I say good test, what does it mean? Variety of question types with the MCQs and match the column, true, false, essay type, and so on so forth. So for a free version, you can create 50 questions up to the limit of 50 questions. Isn't that fantastic? A test for an educator, which is at a school or a college level, which has questions more than 50, and that's quite a fair deal for even one question paper, right? So any one question paper you can create, you can go to the length of creating 50 variety of questions. So that's one part of it. Would you want to have a something when you're really handy with it and you really think, okay, I want to have 5 students or 100? Well, there's no limit to that. You can have as many students within the free version attempting the test. So only one limitation on this is, in spite of having 1,000, when they create a result or the details about the result on the home screen, you can 100 students result at given point of time. That's the only one aspect in the free or unpaid version. So when you have seen 100, you have to delete those 100 and next 100 will appear, right? So generally I think we have in our class 40, 50, 60, 100, 120, and when they have a give a possibility 100, and then the next as many can appear, but they have a possibility of even having accommodating 1,000 odd students. And yet, if you continue at your institute or you as you grow as an entrepreneur, you're happy to with this platform, you can perhaps then, it's really not expensive. And let me open this slide for you, which gives a pricing. So as I said, 50 questions up to 100 results test free, and is just $50 a year, which is really not expensive, provided you are really utilizing all the possibilities of this really well. But right now, since we are on the free version, we'll put our all our attention and thoughts only on that, because that is accommodating a reasonable good number of questions, and let's go on. So here I'm going to start building a test for you. Tap the tab. Everybody, I request all of you to follow red one, please. Tap on build a test. I'll give it a moment for you. Those who have yet not reached the stage, request you to please come along and join us. Okay. Right here we are here. We are on the second screen of Testmoz, where you have the test and the And therefore, as we said, a password protection for the security basis to come up. I hope all of you are there with us. Moving on, so with right, okay, just a second, what we, huh. So I give the test by the name of the test. A lot of things are happening around in COVID-19, and environment has taken a beautiful new face for you and me. Let's create a test. I'm giving a test. My name now, environment can be in environmental studies, or we know it's a part of generally a topic, most of the subjects that we deal with, whether you're doing history or any of the subjects. Just a moment, I think I need to mute everybody. Sounds coming up. Let me do that. Right. So so let me give this to a name to this test, and okay. So I've given the test name environment, right? I've given the name there, and let's choose a password. And I'll tell you why we need to do that. So right now I'm choosing a password as 123 with an exclamation mark. So it's good to have a little complex password. Again, simply for the security measures, you could probably write let me do it again for you, ABC D exclamation, and then retype it. A, B, C, D, E. You can choose anyone. I'm just reading out my password for your understanding. Feel free to use small caps, big caps, numericals, any kind of thing that you would like to add to create a complex password. And why do we need again for the security reason? But while we do that, one thing you need to remember when we choose this password, you need to remember your password henceforth. So don't create such a complex password, or save it somewhere where you have where we can read, come back to it. Would it be required? And it's soon going to be required. So once you have done that, we quickly tap the button create test. Right. So again, I would like to put a point here. Password, because there's no way. I repeat, there's just no way that Testmoz allows you to recover your. All of you pay heed to this. And right now, on a Word document on your desktop, my suggestion is write it down, because would you need to retrieve it? No way Testmoz is helping, then your whole test, your whole effort is finished and washed out, and you have to create a new thing. So I'm going to go back over here and on my Word document, where I've already earlier times also created something. I'm going to write over here. I'm going to write environment studies, and my test word is let me see whether I did that ABCD. I need to check back quickly over there. Go back to that. I'm going to save it. Right? I saved it, and now I go back to my. Once you have done that, A, B, C, D, and this thing. Also, make sure you have done it exactly the way, and then you hit the tab create test. All right. So that's what it's simple to think is. It asks you to do that. Let me say I have saved it. But apart from that, whether your dashboard allows you to save a note, very sensible. You quickly write it down on a Word document. What you think best in your email, wherever you think you want to save it. Now, this is the interface that opens up. This is a very interesting interface, and I would like to point out that there are only 4 steps only. And 4 steps start from the creating and setting, adjusting some settings, and creating the put it out, send it out to your students, and the results once the students have attempted. There are only 4 steps to into entering, getting the second step, creating question papers very simply, immediately sending the URL to your test students, and once they attempted, your dashboard is both automated, artificial intelligence supported grading and automated calculations done for you to analyze ahead. So I'm looking at the first one open to you. First one, it tells us bookmark this page and write down your password. Very important. So what the bookmark? We copy the, please follow my cursor. This is the URL. So I copy it down. Please do that for yourself too. Those who are having right now being with us in the hands on, I've gone up uh, to the URL and I've copied it and I'm going back again to my Word document just now with me, where I had saved my environmental studies question paper, the password, and I'm quickly by copy, Control C and Control V. Simple as that. And then I'm again going to save it. Here I've saved it. Also helps you to save it, or you can so save it from window. And then it says, once you have done that, it's very important because this is a URL which you're requiring to give to your students when you're asking them to attempt the question paper that you have set. So this is very, very, as they say, as they rightly written it, written in red. It's absolutely critical to you to do that. So Devi, you have raised your hand. Let me know if there's a concern. You can take all the question answers towards the end, and we are going very slow. I would request all of you to kindly work along with me in the hands-on training. Then think we are going to come to the end. Be patient with yourself, and we will soon hit the end part of it as well. Okay. So then what we do once you have saved it, very important, then we start putting some tests and changing to the setup of the test. So let's hit the point one in the adjust settings. And let's see what opens up. So here this is the interface which is open, which is saying the test subject that I'm working on is, and we created that together. And we see these the top things are almost, I'm sure most of you, if not everybody, has worked on a Word document. So basic those kind of bold, italics, underline, strike through, and so on and so forth. Then alignment is there, then the link formation, and so on. So eraser and few things. I will not spend time talking document, and we hope that all educators kind of know what to do about it. So moving on ahead, forming the question paper setting. What I'm going to do this is, would you want to write after we did some introduction to it as you can write, please attempt all questions. The marks are indicated with each question. Please note there is a limit to to attempt the question paper. So that's another aspect, and again a very interesting aspect is, since we are working online and creating these papers as educators as an online platform, online learn platform, and give it out to your students who are also sitting in their homes when you are serving this. They could later, when once the lockdown goes away, we are utilizing this platform also in a medium when you are in face to face with students in a classroom setting, in a physical setting. So this is an amazing feature that you can put a time factor, a time limitation. That a question paper when you release, after that it will be for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, left to you depending how many questions, the depth of the question paper, and the subject that you're dealing with. So you can attempt to do that, and that feature which also allows the student to concentrate and not look left here and there and attempt to see what others are doing and spend their few time future manner, but focus completely on their test. So that's a very interesting feature when they allow us to put the time factor exam. So we are going to look how it is going to happen. So this is a description I've given. I put the test name. Going on, then you can have a custom paper, whether you want any one of this look. So it is your choice. Right now, I have taken pastel yellow. Let me go to a red one. I can pick a black one. in blue. Today's a lovely, in Mumbai, we have a lovely day today. It's raining gently and it's very pleasant. So I'm going to take the blue. It makes me feel also very happy and cool. Great. So moving on. So I've taken this as my theme. You can choose to pick up anyone, right? Language. Well, it tells us there are a couple of languages. It alternate whether you want English, French, German, Hindi, Spanish. That's fantastic. So it gives you a choice of good five languages that you may choose to create your question. It's actually crossing borders. So you could be having a question paper dealing with only French. You could be having students from France, where across the world who are studying French, or within India studying French, or German, or any other language. So you can have an international community of students. That's a feature which can allow you to have the subject question created in variety of languages. Moving on, question setting. So that's it says the question paper when you set has two ways of looking at it. Either you can have one question on one given page, like sheet, then you can hit it over there, or show all the test questions on one page. Your choice, whatever you like to go about it. So question paper, all the question on one single page, feel free, or you can do one question. So right now I'm looking at one question. When I do that, it also another set of setting that I can probably have a discretion as a teacher that whether my student who may not choose to answer the question can jump on to the next question, or he goes one by one in a sequential manner to answer all the questions. So here are the two settings which allow the student move forward in a sequence manner answering the earlier question, or they can navigate and jump to the next question. Again, a discretion which you as a teacher has to create the decision. Then you can also have another decision to make that would your question paper the student and answer the question wrong, or would it give a feedback and give an explanation to the answer of the question and or not show anything. Now let me tell the question in detail and displaying whether it's a wrong answer and displaying the right answer. These some features are available in the basic format, but the extra to be added is only available as a feature in the paid format. But nevertheless, here right now we are not looking at that basic format good enough for us to create very comfortably and for students to answer that as well. So don't show anything. I have gone by the default. And another one strategy students don't kind of what we say look into each other's paper or copy each other's question paper, whether they're in the physical setting, right? Or they can call up each other and ask. So what it allows us is it changes the order of the question in the test. So it randomly changes. So let's say there's a student and he receives the question paper. His order of things could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 the question, and another girl who gets a question similar, same subject question paper, order of the question paper change. So her order will be different to his order of question. So that those are the few interesting strategies to ensure that students don't call up each other to and check with each other answer to cut down what we call the copy. But kids are really smart, but we are also today very ready with the digital world and ensuring the strategies to cut down their smartness to lesser one. But here, so here we have done all these settings, and then it says yet more settings, which says review the setting that after the test has been taken, student has passed the test, then do we send him a message? Yes, you can definitely do that. You can tell the message congratulations. So or if the student has not cleared it, then so here show custom message if the student passed or failed. If you tick this, enable it, then you it also gives you a decision that at what percentage that you want the passing of the test. Do you want it at 50%, 60, 70, or 30, whatever, or 75%? So let me say I would like to put at 50%, right? Fair enough. Don't you think so? Would you like it lesser? Your choice. Your call. You are the decision maker. Go ahead. I put it at 50. You can definitely reduce it to 50 or upgrade it to 60. Scale it up. So when does attempt the paper, and I have put marking and I put the marking criteria, that what the great magic happened that as soon as the student as the student it immediately shares the score. It calculates which are the questions he's attempted right or wrong, and finally immediately displays the score. As soon as all are done or one is done, as many students have to attend, my scorecard and grade card is ready. Isn't that fantastic? Please give a big hand for that. I'm very happy with this. As an educator, it saves me loads of hours of just putting my heads down into mark sheets. I'm sure you. So that is for the passing, and you can leave a message when he passes. Say, hey, congratulations, keep it up. You have done well. Keep it up, right? You can keep a nice, fun message for him, interesting one. And if it unfortunately he scores lesser than 50, which means he will fail, you can say, better luck next time. Gear up, right? You can just give a nice thumping message low in the spirit. So better luck next time. Gear up. That's a fair enough. So if this text gets displayed when the student doesn't clear or if he gets 10, he gets a congratulation. So these are very interesting features. And finally, when the student has finished his test, as I said, the score is displayed. Please here mention the score to know the test outline. Now you have a choice whether you don't want the score to display, unable, disable it. You have a choice. If the test outline response which is the student gave is correct or incorrect, you don't want that to be displayed, disable. Correct answer, disable the explanation. You have a choice. My preference for my score is I would let the student see the score and probably display the correct answer also, and that's fair enough, and maybe even indicate correct or incorrect. And since the explanation is a feature of paid version, we just skip that and no worries. Once that is done, we go the next one. Priority, ensuring that only authorized students take the exam and no one else. Like for example, you have a class which have two sections. I teach in undergrad students and postgraduate students at university level have two sections, A and B. I'm teaching masters of communication studies, and we have two sections where I'm dealing with the dissertation students as well, and the same batch is also dealing with social sciences. So then I can say this test is only for those creation of the social sciences theoretical aspect. So I can do that, or I can say anybody can take. Maybe I'm coming out with a quiz, for example, which everybody take, and you're just letting her having a, you could be a research scholar and you want a survey done, and you say anybody who falls my criteria of being able to answer it. So you can say anyone, or else disable it, and you can say, which is important for all educators, anyone who enters the okay of your choice, of which you have kept, which you have enabled a password, and you share that password. Only the student who has that password and the URL give for the exam, only that student will be able to attempt. So that helps tremendously in the security, in the safety, and your question paper doesn't get leaked. Generally are always talked about in the education world. So set the password. Remember, the password is case sensitive. So very important. We wrote ABCD for my earlier. I'm also going to follow the same one. I'm going to write ABCD E. Mine was ABCD, and here I put ABCDE. You feel free to put any password of your choice. You can put the hashtag 123AB. Choose whatever complex. That's your choice. So I've gone to ABCD and simply for the ease of functionality for a demo class right now. And then when we do that, it says anyone who identifier from a list I specified. Do I do this? Yes, I can do that, but then that is a feature again available on a paid version. So that, right? So we are happy with the password of my choosing. We did that, and I set the password perfectly good. Anyone who enter the email, again the paid feature, just skip that. Be happy with the password. Serve your and my purpose perfectly. So why worry? And then on the right side, it says now is the time that we talked about that time factor, that time limitation. So here it allows me to feature out what I want. You are limited time. Like today, I display my test, I share it to them, and you can take forever to answer the question paper for 2 days, 5 days, 10 days. No, I don't get to create my grades, or that's a choice. That depends on what reason that you're sending. Is it a survey, or you're just sending an awareness drive? You need to do that. No worries. But would you have an exam related, a grading done, and you have a time limit to create your mark sheets, which of course the test mode is going to take the work. So here my suggestion is you can do. So right now I'm putting 10 minutes, right? Fair enough. You can put 60 minutes, you can 20 minutes. However, right now just for demo class, I'm putting 10 minutes and I'm moving on. So that's again a very important feature. Then how many times a student can attempt an answer question paper? My suggestion very strongly is only limited time, and I would like to put it one time. Duplicate answer question papers being sent up to a student would have tried for 10 times, 5 times. Nah, we don't want that kind of scenario. It's a wall. So my suggestion, recommendation, keep it one. Mind your mental health. Very, very necessary for us educators when we have number of students. So, and we are good to go. And we say here, right, with what we do. Now, these few features are also available with the paid version that you can translate, you can right click menu and things like spell check. But never the matter. These are paid versions. As we said, we are talking on the free version. So here we then what do we do after having done this? It's important that right after all these settings, please remember to hit that bottom thing you see here, save. If you do not do that, all your settings are going to go. So another one thing that you're saying, do you want to receive an email whenever somebody finish your test? You can choose to yes, you can do that by paying. So the test paper says, pay me money and I get extra additional features. Remember when we go to like when we say pani puri wala, give me a little more khatta water, give me a little sweet chutney. He looks up to us, man, this costs you money. Put in another few 10 rupees and extra pani puri for you, water. Yeah. So all the spice up, so all their love, fantastic features, end up paying and you get it. But as I repeat, they keep to the best effects is great. So we say no and we just save it. I've hit that tab save. All my settings have got saved. Fantastic. I'm good to go and so are you. And I hope all of you are with me. And now we are going to create the question paper. Okay. I hope any no queries, no works. Everybody is with us and we are moving on. And quickly let's create the question paper. Now we start with the question paper graded survey for the research oriented people, research scholars, or basically creating awareness drives. You can choose for the survey, but the other ones are definitely for the paid version. And but they're very interesting features. Just to name a few, question pool. You could create a big question pool, and would you want to out of that or 15? It just allows you on a multifarious way to pick up out of those 100 questions, which is a question pool. Just create an immediate question paper. So those are you can borrow question from another test which you could have created earlier, take a question from a file, and so on so forth. But they are on a paid version. Now we're quickly going to look at the questions turn by turn on a unpaid version, free version. So here we have the answer only one to pick up. Multiple choice, you could pick up more than one answer. True and false, match the columns, fill in the blanks, and essay. So these are the ones where you don't put a marking to them, and here with a graded. So we'll do the grading one. Let me attempt to put one or two questions for you, and then I'll check already created, but I'll just run down with this, run along with you. So again, these are so it says your test has one question which could be graded, and you can shuffle your questions and answers as well. Let's try to do that. So I'm creating question one. We said we are working on the environment factor. Let me say um, world world environment is celebrated on. Okay, so now you write your answers. Of course, write 25th January. The second choice I give them February. Then the third where I could give 27th Feb, and the next and the last I give the third. Right? You could create these options for them, and since the question we have picked up is multiple, so they have to pick up any one of them. And let's you hear the show explanation. As I said, when it's a paid feature, you can give them a little more detailed information, which is adds to the planning. But that's a great feature. But of course, in the paid version. So here, if you see on the right, it allows you to say which kind of a question are you asking. I say I must answer one. How many points? I can say I can put it for 2 points. Good enough. And the right answer you have to take. A right answer I say 26 because you have to only the system will be able to grade and allocate correct marks or wrong marks and give the score. So you have to give the answer key also. So I've given the points. And one more beautiful feature. Look on the left. Can you see the soft grade portion? So here when I touch it, what does it do? Very interesting. It shuffles the answer options. Isn't that interesting? So remember when we were setting the features of creating a question, we created a situation, a setting. We said shuffle the question, and here within the questions, even the answers get shuffled. So a lot of measures you are putting as an educator in place, which trying to safeguard of copying and things like that. So that's one thing. And now, if you see this plus and minus, it duplicates my answer, my question. I can change the form, I can change the wordings, but the format remains the same. So it's a very interesting feature. I just hit the button. I say I do this. It gets deleted, right? So this is very easy that could quickly move on making the question. I do it a plus and it gets created. A next question, same marks. You can just change the wordings and you can say probably create another question and I delete one, I delete it and I'm good to go with the next one, multiple choice. Now I want to create a question is of a different format, right? So what do I see? I look into the question and I say, which which is largest of exporter of in the world. Let's say I put this question in, excuse me for the spellings, I'm just doing a quick one, exporter of the world. Two, I make the options as Thailand, right? And then I say India, and then I say capital I, and then I say Brazil, Brazil, and then I perhaps say Indonesia, right? So let's say I put these options and I click the correct answer being Thailand. I gain by 2 points and I'm good to go. And I get a so it's ready. Now again I go on the next one, and now if you see this bottom plus, it allows me to create a next question as well. So either is the one sign I can do that. Now let's create the next question, and I change the format as well in that. So I will say creating a next question, which is going to be okay. One other feature, if you want to have written a question and you want to change the facility of undoing it. So things are getting saved as you're creating it, but would you want to go back and create some different thought process? Yes, and you are reverted back to the same status that what was earlier. So right now I'm looking at my here the third question, which is consent. Wait, consent of which gas is highest in our environment. Since we are dealing with environment, right? And I say oxygen, oxygen, and then I say oxygen. I just leave it at oxygen, and I do not perhaps want to write. And I say, okay, I make it as true. See, suddenly all the options have gone. Correct? You have seen that all the options have gone because I've come up with the true and false question, and oxygen, whether it's true or false. So student has a possibility of telling me this answer is true or whether that answer is false. So the points are also marked as two. E marker, oxygen is actually a false because the true answer is nitrogen, but we have not given it. We have just asked one, and they can give us the answer whether it's right or wrong. So we actually say the concentration of this gas. So I'll just change the format. This in our environment, and I've given oxygen, which I know is false. They should be ideally marking it false. Moving on to the next question, I say plus, and comes up, and let's create a match the following now for them. And I say here match the following, here matching. We'll create a question. We say match the following. What we need to match: voices, sorry, oil, and we say all right, Andrew. And then we quickly put a prick to that. So what is this? We write depression, right? Depression, water. Then we say oil is Libya, right? And then gangrene we glacier, and so on forth. You can keep adding to it more. I've just given few examples for your understanding. And this is matching is also correct. So we can write here one matches with answer one because right now answered the right question. One, and this is also matching with um, just a second. I will just cut this off. We'll just go hit the next one. So right now when we hit this, it will also change the format of that. So when it will change the format of this, this can go 1 and 2. Right now these are the correct answer, and we say it is for 2 points. Moving on, I would like interesting feature. Here it is says partial credit, right? I can also probably talk about. Okay, yeah. So would you say that partial credit is a very interesting feature when a student is supposed to answer of two things, and the child knows only one. He can match only voices to depression, what, and the second it doesn't match the other one. What it allows is to give them partial marks. So in 2 marks, the student will end up getting 1 mark instead of going 0. So I would suggest you hit the partial credit because it gives a benefit to the student. Would you keep this as, let's say, 6 marks, 4 marks, for example? The student one part of this, they will still end up getting 2 marks out of the 4 marks that you get. So that's a very interesting feature as well. Then we can have another one that is gone over here, and we can say what more options we have. We can have probably essay we could be doing, explain, sorry, explain an ecosystem. And able to write in detail. The child has to write in detail. Now, this is a little subjective question in which the auto marking is you have to do manually. So please understand, whenever you give a question of this format, you should be able to understand that when the final auto marking is skipped, you have to actually open the question paper yourself, auto mark it, and then only the system gets completed. So if you want to skip it, just do a tick. Or so let's say we are all ready to do our questions, almost completed. Except I think we did the multiple choice, true, false, matching. So we can probably say you can create a filling the blanks. I'm just repeating that again, and you can have this thing. And let's move on. The blanks question we have done, filling the blank, and we can say alternative answer can be any one of them. And another one thing, case sensitive grading. Child answer the question. If you hit this, so the child writes India as a small I or B as a small b, he will go wrong. So my suggestion is sensitive and let it the world be like this. So I've just repeated the question for the ease of functionality. Now what we need to do is we have ready save. Okay, please look over here on the right hand side. It's saving, and my question, the page is also auto saved, but nevertheless you save it and say okay. Question paper is good and ready to go. Paper is ready, and we quickly go up. And now what do we do? As we go up, okay, we are going up, and section 2. Okay. Now we say this is ready to go. Now we have, if you come on the right hand side, we say publish. The question paper has been prepared, the question papers, and we now have to just quickly publish it for our students to do it. Would you want as many questions? As I said, you can do 50 questions, choices, do filling the blank, do essay, whichever you want, as many till 50 questions. Once you are done and ready, save. Please hit on the on the left. The moment you say publish, it says you can publish it, and if you want to preview your test, you can preview it, so that in case there's a mistake made, you can still preview. So it opens to me this kind of a interface. What it shows me, if a student has to log in, then what they need to do, they'll have the URL which you have to give, and of course the password which you will give. Administration, right on admin, I put my password which I have done ABCDE, which we said with a exclamation mark, and I log in, and my paper has opened up, and I'm saying let me check my paper, and I can quickly look into it, and my paper is right here, and we say it is done, quickly done. I'm happy with my paper. You checked it, and it doesn't stop over there. There's one more new interesting feature. I'll show you that. Would you want to print your paper, create as a PDF of it? This is a written format. Please look over here on the right. You can print this paper, the paper that you have created. You can download and print. So look over here on your browser, and you just hit that thing, view print thing, and right here your paper is appeared here. Have a look, the paper what you created with the questions, with the options, and the marks. So this is another one interesting feature. Going back, once this is done, if you want to print it, you can take a print form one classroom physical setting. You can use this paper, or of course definitely online. Now I'm hitting the tab publish. So let's go on this publish. So I have published it. Now another, the most important thing by which you will be able to share it with your students. Please save this URL, testmoz.com, and the URL and the password. So very important, only if you share this and extend it to your students, the password and the URL, only then the authorized student can share. So I'm going to quickly save it again back on my Word document here. So copy paste, usually CTRL C and CTRL V. So my this thing has saved on what? Environmental studies. I have saved my paper. So what now? How the student gets to do it? You will send this URL and the passcode to your students through any of the medium that you are through WhatsApp, whether through an email, or you can give to your office and they can forward it, or to your Google groups or to your message, whatever free. And this is where when they will just put this in the URL over here, the paper will immediately open. They'll put the password and be ready to write the answer without logging in, without opening account. Fantastic. Full marks to test mode. Okay. So you can creating a date when the exam needs to be given, but that is a paid version. So skip it. Current status open, and that's also we are good to go. Let's say we are going to say, let's take this on the publish. This is my paper, and I have one thing as this, and I'm going to take this and quickly see if I can go back to the student view and paper. Let's do that. Okay. Second, and click to show. I'm quickly good. I have saved it and I'm touching over here. I'm opening my browser and I'm putting the, what did I save? I saved the Word document. I had saved my paper, this test mode. I take this, which you have sent. I'm going in the student's view now, right? I'm going in the student's view. I put it in my URL. It's opening up. I'm opening it as my student login. I give the password, which is a password which I had saved. I had given to the student. Let's look at it again. I had given ABCDE as a student password. So as a student attempt it, we are showing you the student view. Earlier was the professor, teacher, educator view. Now ABCDE. So now the student, and let's see, it says invalid. So A, B, C, D, right? Invalid. Now why it is invalid? If we have definitely is going to tell you invalid. It says password A, B, C, D, E. Let's see that and quickly hit my oh sorry. I need to get my password from here. Testmoz.com, and then I quickly go back here into this literature, opens up. It either administration, that is professor student, or let me see if I do this, does it open? Yes, it says it's student mode, and then it says A, B, C, D, A, B, C, start. So here, now it has opened up as a student. It says that this, remember the description we wrote? It's yes, good. Each question on one paper. Let me, I'm just randomly answering. You see the question has been, the answers have been shuffled. So submit, one paper question gone. I say again, let me see if I get a 0 marks or pass or fail, which is the largest producer of the this thing in the world. I do Thailand, submit, and which is the next question, which is the largest exporter of rubber in the world. I can do again. Can I say Indonesia? Just no, actually it's not it. Let's say Thailand. Let's try giving, yeah, Thai. Okay, here since it was match the following depression and oasis. So all of this thing. So oil, you see this thing has changed. We do with one, and oasis with two, and my test paper is over. See here, duration I barely took few seconds. My score is shown here, my subject name shown here, and 67%. I'll also one more thing in this which is very interesting, which you should, if you are again taking this URL and opening a still new, putting it here, which you must mind it and tell your students student login, student name, or the roll number. So let's say if I'm writing now right now Makkskills, but if you have given them roll number, you can write over there the roll number, right? Sorry, that was my admin login word. I had written A B C D E. So this will allow you to know which student has created that exam. I'm just again randomly doing this to show you how it shows. Two, and this can be one. Submit, and then kiss the oxygen. That is a wrong answer. Brazil. Now let's see. It will give me a wrong answer. Again, I write Indonesia. I've given a wrong answer. Just and see, this shows me which of my answers are wrong, which of my answers are correct. It shows me exactly as a student, because this is a system that, and it shows me Makkskills as the name of the student or the roll number. It shows I got only 17%. Better luck next time. This is what we have written, duration take, so on so forth. So all the details are here. Quickly hitting back now to our again system that we are looking at. Now let's our results. So we have done with the publishing. We showed you the teacher view, and now we are looking. Showed you the student view, and let's see the here it is. You saw how the test marks got calculated with the name, with the roll number, and this is on a collective basis. So Makkskill wrote environment study, but just to give an idea, so one student got 67%, that was me, and that Makkskill got 17%. When the date, what time, finished when, all the details are given. Question wise, how many details, which question many students went wrong, which question did they right. Not only this, it also rates score of the class. On here on the left, 62% between this batch. Time taken, how many responses, only two students have answered, and it shows forms of a histogram. Fantastic. Now, it also shows you, would you want to export the result on an Excel sheet? You have a couple of ways. Point grid, I'm opening it, and it shows me that I can open up quickly Excel sheet. The results get completely automated. Intelligence help us to put it in a Excel sheet, all for you to save. Tomorrow, a student says, "Ma'am, but I got higher marks and I didn't get right. Here's the Excel sheet of that day." So, all those things in detail. Now, this test can be used by corporates for their employee appraisals, for your student teacher, for your peers, anywhere. All the details can be saved in the Excel sheet. So these are the beautiful things that can happen. Save it by the point way, or view the various audit logs that you can say. All these things are detailed over here as additional information. Excellent. So I'm going to quickly show you another one test that I have done a little more grading, and before I finish, and that's going to be my last one. And I hope we have done it well with ourselves. I'm going to show a test that we took earlier. Cybersecurity. See, I've saved this. So all that you need is URL, and my passcode for the student is 12345. I go open this. The student has to just put it the URL in the tab, hit enter, student login, and my, so I say again Makkskills, and my passcode at 12345 for the student, my thing, and it's open up, and I say no, never. So I'm just randomly showing you paper has opened. This is an essay thing. I'm just quickly figuring it out for you that they can write the secure answers that, and banking details. I'm just writing some words over here, and false data entry. You can put false, partial credit, true, false. And so question papers can be saved, and you can use it later. At least somebody has attempted in the period of few months that answer those the question paper. The question paper can be saved for a year. Here, interesting. So what you can do in case if a student has not, you want to save a question paper, you can just let it self-attempt it. So that by Testmoz, and you can use it as per the URL and your password, and you can reuse the paper for the next year to go. And that's a very fantastic way. So this is what I wanted to show this, that how you can self-save, say, congratulations, I passed it, environment studies, all those things they can be saved. I'll show you some more which I have saved here. I created earlier tests on cyber security, which you just saw. I created one today, environments, I did on COVID-19. All these can be amazingly saved for you to go back to, right? So that's it in brief detail for an amazing online tool which allows you to create a test and exam online, automate the assessment procedures, and the analysis procedure the way you saw over here. If on a free version, 50 questions, on a free version, as many as you want, but 100 students results are displayed over here for you to see, and you can delete this to see the next as many more. So that's for you, fantastic tool. Thank you so much. I hope you had a very enriching learning experience with Makkskills, and I'm coming back. I'm stopping share, and I'm back to you over here. Any questions, feel free to put. I may not be able to take all the questions, but few initially, the few ones we will definitely attempt to take. If anybody has queries,